Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Prime Time Local News. Connor Chan and Abby St. John here. Lots on the go today for our show, including with our question of the day segment coming up later on. What movie can you watch over and over again and never get tired of it?
See, with me, I can, if I like the movie, I can watch it hundreds of times in a row. I can't really narrow down on a specific movie, but you know, all the Disney movies, like all the Harry Potters I can rewatch over and over again, so just depends.
Fair enough. Well, we have lots of answers to go through. We'll go through a few of those later on into the show, but right now let's send over to Josh Ryan, who's live on location.
Thank you very much. We're out at the Jubilee home where the Lloyd Co-op Growing the Good program is underway. That's in partnership with Blooms for Healthcare. Several school children are in the area, and they're going to be planting various plants, vegetables, and crops, including this Celosia lime. I hope I got that right, probably didn't. These will all be going down in these various garden patches here, so we'll get to hear from some of the kids themselves as well as the program directors running it. Great opportunity for the kids to get growing, but also for them to interact with the folks here at the Good Home. So we'll have more on that over the next 2 hours, but first, back to you in studio.
Local fitness trainer Jennifer McEwen is one step closer to her goal of being the next Maxim cover girl. The 37-year-old Mama 3 is on to the next round of voting after finishing first in her group. The field of 1,000 competitors has now been cut to 500 and will be further lessened to just 50 on Thursday. It was pure excitement for McEwen and her family when she found out she was on to the next round.
I freaked right out. I messaged my mom. My daughter was almost crying. It was epic. It was epic. It's such a great feeling. Like, I have 2 daughters, and to see them, you know, support me and be so proud of me. They're telling their friends, they're getting their sport groups out to vote.
A competition like this presents a new, unique challenge for McEwen. Unlike bikini competitions, she's relying on others to determine her fate.
If it's something for me and I can do it myself, I would be in it 100%. So all I can do at this point is share my story on social media and try to get people behind me to vote.
The winner of the competition will receive $10,000 and be featured on the cover of Maxim magazine. If you'd like to cast a vote before Thursday, head over to MaximCoverGirl.com. The color run usually features a wide array of colors, but the only ones seen Friday night were gray and white, as with the bad weather and hail forced the run to be canceled. The annual 5K run takes place at Bud Miller Park, and as the event was cut short, they've decided to come up with a new date for the run, and they're hoping that this time around they'll have better luck.
We're now planning to hold it on the evening of September the 6th. It's Friday, September the 6th, and kids are just back in school. It's right after the long weekend, so we think it should be a good time. Should still be warm enough for everyone to come out and enjoy.
People who are registered for the original color run do not need to register again, but those who can't make it to the new date can get a refund.
What's going to happen is people will have about a month's time to decide if they still want to participate. Sure, hoping everyone will. But if they do want to have a refund, they can have it up until June the 28th. And then after that, if we haven't heard from people, we're going to assume they're going to come out and enjoy the event with us again.
Registration will soon be available for new participants, and if you're interested, check back to 5k.bfisher.com in a few days. And now we're going to Josh Ryan, who is live on location tonight.
We're back at the Jubilee home, and I'm joined by Lori Anderson, the facility manager. You were telling me off camera beforehand that this is a bit of a excursion back into the past for many of the residents as they get to go outside and experience it with the kids. So kind of talk a little bit about that, what it means to them.
Often when a resident comes to live here at the Jubilee home, one of the first things we do is do a life history. We do it with the family and the resident, and one of the first things they always come back to is remembering working in the garden, in the yard, and getting their hands dirty. So to make the nursing home atmosphere feel as much as home as possible, we try to get them outside planting. And as you see today, without the help of groups like the Lloydminster Co-op group, planting and that would not take place because our residents aren't able to do that. And also, without the help of the Lloydminster Foundation over the years with their hard work and fundraising, we wouldn't be able to do this either. And also, when you think about it, I think I've watched the beautification process take place over the last 3 to 4 years. And without the hard work and commitment from Ed and Dawn, the founders of the communities in Bloom, none of this would have taken root and grown. And of course, residents, when they see this, they feel like they're being taken care of, and this is their home.
I certainly would feel taken care of if I was in this position here, so I'm sure they do feel that way. Students here from Queen Elizabeth School and Lashburn High School will have more from the Jubilee Home, but first, let's take a look at your local weather.
All right, thanks very much, Josh. Taking a look at your current temperature outside, 27 degrees currently right now with some sun and cloud mix. We did have another gorgeous day, as we will see that over the next couple of days here as we look at our 7-day forecast later on the show. Decent winds, though, with coming in from the west-southwest there at 15 kilometers an hour. 32 degrees was our warmest day back in 1986, while -3 was our coolest back in 1989. So here is the satellite radar map. Not a lot of cloud coverage, as we're going to see that sun very much so over the next couple of days. Playing a factor, the cloudiness is more so out east, as we have seen here. But as we take a look at some other current temperatures right now, 27 degrees right now, as I mentioned here for Lloydminster. 27 also out in North Battleford, Saskatoon, and Melfort. 28 in Cold Lake and Meadow Lake right now. 27 for Edson, Athabasca, and Whitecourt. 24 degrees currently right now out in Rocky Mountain House, and 23 degrees out in Red Deer. So here's a look at a little more in-depth look to the regional temperatures. 11 degrees overnight in North Battleford with some clear skies, warming up to 30 degrees tomorrow with mostly sunny skies and a few clouds as they'll see their first 30-degree day. 13 degrees overnight in Cold Lake with some clouds, going to 30 degrees also for them tomorrow with a sun and cloud mix there, more so on the cloudier side of things. So 11 degrees for us here in Lloydminster with clear skies overnight, going to 29 degrees. We're just shy of the 30-degree mark with sun and clouds for tomorrow. So here's the next 3 days. 28 degrees on the Thursday, 22 degrees on Friday. Decent lows there with 13 for the daytime low there on Thursday, and then we go back to single digit there for Friday with a low there of 8 degrees. That's a look at your 3-day forecast right now. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Well, getting the job done on the farm is the core of agriculture. Learning the discipline of agronomy at school sets the stage. Gerard Lampow gets the inside at the learning at Lakeland College.
It needed to be a quarter of an inch deeper.
Along with the teaching staff at Lakeland College, agronomist James Oberhofer comes in to work with the students over winter they plan for the following spring.
We come up with the crop plan, the crop protection plan, seeding rates, help a little bit with the fertility, and basically come up with what the plan is for the spring.
Oberhofer and the class instructor manage the crops.
The course the students take is called Student Managed Farm, powered by New Holland. It is a second-year course. And basically the students manage every component of the farm.
Katovich has over 20 years in ag retail and has spent the last 2 years at Lakeland College. Over the summer, they keep a watchful eye until the next batch of students come in the fall to harvest.
I start basically the first week of May, and I'm through each field once a week to keep an eye on what weeds are emerging, what do we have to do to control them, what insects are emerging, how crops are progressing, and kind of timing everything.
That timing is important ahead of that next group of students. Katovich and Oberhofer will manage things over the summer.
So cutworms definitely are a factor because they're nocturnal feeders. They're hard to just drive by and see. We're looking for poor emerging spots, particularly south-facing slopes. Number 2 would be flea beetles would be the next thing I'm looking for, because we've got emerging canola crops right now, and flea beetles love to feed on cotyledon canola. We've kind of seen a switch from crucifer flea beetles to striped flea beetles that aren't necessarily as affected by our seed treatments.
They will also look at plant stand counts to check on emerged seeds to see what adjustments are needed for next year's seeding rates. Scouting the field at ground level will be ongoing.
Get out, take a trowel, dig your seeds up. Are they germinating? Are they emerging? Is there a pattern to it? It's always easier to find a problem in the nearby future than several months later wondering what happened.
How deep is he? Like, dig him out. Oh.
Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
That's all for egg. Sports is next, but first, here's a look at your egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
For 2 years, BJ Carey's Chuck Wagon outfit has missed out on the CPCA Final Four by a few hit barrels. Now, with a strong returning team in front of him, the veteran driver is gunning for the title amid a crowded field. Josh Ryan has more.
A winter filled with hockey, including coaching Lac La Biche to a Junior B League final, kept BJ Carey occupied.
It was a busy off season. Did some traveling and buying horses and run some horses down in Phoenix. So it was a busy year, yeah.
Starting in North Battleford this weekend, Carey is back out on the track for the CPCA Tour, hoping to avoid the disappointment of 2018, where he missed a chunk of the season with a hand injury.
I'm going to be very careful this year, and I'll be delegating a little more than anything else. But I mean, I want to drive a full year, and the guys that drove for me did a hell of a job. But we hit a couple barrels, so I'm going to take those barrels away, and you never know what could happen.
Seeing his new crop of horses perform as well as they did last summer has Carey confident that they're ready for this season.
Last year was a year that I didn't think I was going to be where I was at, to tell you the truth. Lots of new ones in last year, so they're going to be that much stronger this year. And I bought another big crop again this year, so it'll be interesting. It'll be I can't wait to get going. I think we're going to be stronger than last year, and hopefully we're sitting on top.
And he'll need that improvement with so many young drivers right behind them.
Annie Ringette and Lane Tournier, I think they're going to really take a big jump this year, and if the guys at the top aren't ready, they're going to be moving them out of there. Everybody's improving so much that it's going to be a good field of drivers this year for sure.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
And now we're going to go to Josh Ryan, who is live on location tonight.
Thanks very much. Still here at the Jubilee home. Most of the plants have been planted thus far. Those kids are working very fast. I'm now joined by Christine Kenorick, the marketing manager for Lloyd Co-op. Pretty exciting day. Nice, warm, beautiful day for them to take part. Just talk a little bit about the program, which has been going on for, I guess, 4 years now, and you employed a lot of different kids for it.
You betcha. So Lloyd Co-op started the program in 2016. It's called Growing the Good, and it's a way that we wanted to give an opportunity for people to apply for funding, whether you're a charity or a school, in this case, a nonprofit organization. So after you complete your good work, you receive a donation for your cause. So this year, the spring, we've actually awarded 2 activities, one to Lashburn High School, and then tonight's activity to the Queen Elizabeth School kids. So it's really exciting.
Certainly exciting for the kids as well, as you can see by the proficiency that they've managed to plant these things so far. What are some of the other benefits you've kind of seen, other than just simply the planting and the impact it has on the residents here, but kind of the benefits aside from just the monetary value for the school?
You bet. I think it's really important for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a child or if you're middle-aged or in your senior years, to realize that good things happen because of good people. So at Co-op, it's a really important part of our value system to reward that and to put one of those principles into play, building community. So quite literally and figuratively, it's something that we believe and practice and want to empower others to do that as well.
And you guys were already out and about last week. I believe it was last Tuesday. There was already a growing and planting session going on there.
Yeah, Thursday night actually. It was the Lashburn High School kids who did the planting activity at Lloydminster Continuing Care Center. So it's a really powerful cycle, to be honest, where we've got the youth serving the seniors in their twilight years and providing beautification for the facilities that they're now living in.
And also a chance for some of those youngsters to get their hands and feet quite dirty in the best kind of way possible. Thank you again, Christine, for joining us. We'll have more here from the Jubilee home. As we said before, the Lashburn High School kids were out last week. Queen Elizabeth School students out today. Beautiful day. There's the crops now on the other side of the building that we're going to have to go check out and see how the planting goes over there. But first, back to you guys in studio.
All right, thanks very much, Josh. Taking a look at some other current temperatures once again. 27 degrees, very nice for all those plants that those students out there at the Jubilee Home are planting currently right now. 27 degrees out in Marwayne and Bonnyville as well. 28 degrees for Cold Lake, Pierceland, Lac La Biche, and St. Paul as well out in Edmonton. 27 degrees in Wainwright. 26 for Provost and Macklin. 26 also for Maidstone. 27s in North Battleford and St. Walburg. 29s in Isle La Crosse and Green Lake as well. Some other Saskatchewan temperatures. 28 degrees right now for La Loche and Buffalo Narrows. 20 degrees out in La Ronge. Still a little cooler out further in Wollaston Lake and Stony Rapids, sitting at 19 degrees and 14 degrees. Flin Flon also sitting at 19 degrees. 20 degrees out in Uranium City right now. 33 degrees right now in Fort McMurray, one of the warmer areas in Alberta right now. 26 in Slave Lake, 28 degrees in Grand Prairie, 31 degrees in Peace River right now, 29 degrees out in High Level. Out in southern Alberta right now, 23 degrees for Medicine Hat and Banff, 22 degrees in both Lethbridge and Calgary, 24 for Coronation, 28 out in Kindersley as we move over to southern Saskatchewan, 24 degrees currently in Swift Current, 26 for Moose Jaw, 25 in both Estevan and Regina, and 24 degrees out in Yorkton. We're going to be seeing some very nice temperatures over the next couple of days. We're not quite at the 30 mark yet, as we are just 1 degree shy of that at 29 degrees for us tomorrow for the daytime high, as well as 29 out in Vermilion, Marwayne, Maidstone, and Macklin tomorrow. 28 degrees in Wainwright, Provost as well. 30s all across upper north here in Lac La Biche, Bonnyville, Cold Lake, Pierceland, and Isle La Crosse as well. 31 in Meadow Lake and Green Lake tomorrow. 29 degrees out in Edmonton and 29 also for Marwayne and Vermilion and Maidstone and Macklin as well. So as we take a look here at the school day forecast tomorrow, still very warm temperatures. 8 a.m. at 17 degrees with mostly sunny skies and a few clouds. Same results going to 22 degrees at recess, 26 degrees at lunchtime, and 29 degrees by home time. So here's the next 7 days for you. 28 degrees on Thursday, 28 on Friday where it should be a lot clearer. A little more, few clouds here and there. 28 degrees on Saturday, could get a little cloudier with a 41% chance we could see some showers. So 25 degrees on Sunday, a little bit cloudier with some sun though. 19 degrees on Monday where it'll be a little bit cooler, sitting at that 19 degree mark, and 20 degrees on Tuesday with mostly sunny skies and a few clouds, with the wind though picking up over 30 kilometers an hour. So it might feel just a tad cooler than 20 degrees. But that's a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news after the break.
Thanks very much. Joined by Malcolm Radke, the CEO of the Lloydminster and Region Health Foundation. We have the Queen Elizabeth students in the background planting some crops for the folks here at the Jubilee Home. Talk a little bit about the foundation's involvement and what it means to work with this group.
Sure. So a few years ago, Don Whitaker and Ed Anderson tapped us on the shoulder and said, hey, we want to make the flower beds across the community at all the healthcare facilities way, way better. Can you help us out? And we said, absolutely, guys. So since then, they've literally grown the program quite a bit. They've got involvement with folks like Co-op across the community, and then volunteer groups like Queen Elizabeth. So it's been excellent just to watch, how they've expanded it, and now it's become a yearly thing every spring, something everybody looks forward to.
And certainly these kids have been looking forward to, because they've been hard at work so far, already getting some of the vegetables and flower gardens done on the other side. Is there a particular moment or memory you've had from seeing kids work with the groups here, and or maybe it's the faces of some of the residents themselves? What's the thing that you take away from it most?
Yeah, well, I think, anytime we can all get out of our offices and literally plant some seeds and just a nice day in the sun, it's a huge team builder for everyone. Nothing beats last year when we were at the hospital, just actually physically working with the soil ourselves, and then all of a sudden later on when you're taking family members through the front entrance, you have a whole new appreciation for the flower beds. I think Ed and Dawn, they have dozens and dozens of stories of residents or families visiting the residents in the facilities, just stopping and saying, wow, that's absolutely gorgeous. And it's one of those little things that goes a long way. The first impression when you're approaching the facility and you've got a lot on your mind in terms of what you're dealing with from a healthcare standpoint, general feel-good mood stuff, it actually goes a long way. It makes the buildings more livable, and when you're in the hospital setting, it makes it just a little bit more enjoyable for you and your family. So small acts that go a long way.
They certainly do. Now, while we've got you here, really quickly, is anything else you can talk about upcoming for the Health Foundation, maybe to put the word out?
Yeah, lots on the go all the time. Cancer and chemo ward renovation on the 3rd floor coming up, we're really excited about. An announcement finally on a dialysis project that we've been lobbying for quite a few years, that the community is really going to rally around. And of course, Project Sunrise with mental health, we're making better and better progress with that all the time. So lots on the go for us, but in the meantime, just you know, improving and enhancing a facility with simple flower bed stuff is always a fun way to take your mind off other things.
Absolutely. I'm sure everyone in town can use a moment to take their mind off of not just their own lives, but what's going on throughout the rest of the world. We'll be back in the Jubilee home with a few more interviews coming up, partially with a few of those youngsters that are planting themselves. Back to you guys, though, in studio.
All right, thanks very much, Josh. As we take a look at our question of the day segment, kind of an interesting one. What movie can you watch over and over again and not get tired of it? So we had a lot of comments on this one. Grease and Sound of Music was from one person. Speaking of Sound of Music, one woman did say Sound of Music, and she went on to say, once watched it 124 times in 3 months.
That's crazy.
I don't think I can. There's movies that I love, like Step Brothers and a movie called Little Manhattan and other comedies as well. I don't know if I could watch it over 100 times in that long.
That's a lot. I'm actually impressed at the amount of times she's watched Sound of Music, so that's pretty cool.
There is one movie I think I can never really get tired of, and that's Superbad. I really enjoy that. It's a nice little coming-of-age comedy, and it's like one of the first, I think, adult movies I kind of watched when I was in like high school or just graduating junior high as well, if you want to call it that. I know you're saying there's a few for yourself that were also pretty important, or not I guess important, but you know, that you watched.
Yeah, no, like any Disney movie. I am a big fan of the Addams Family movies, so I can watch those over and over. Any Harry Potter movie. Any like superhero movies.
Yeah, there were a few people that say Harry Potter, all the Harry Potters, they'll never get tired of it. As well as, you know, Addams Family, of course, they got that new one coming out.
Yes, the animated one.
So can we see you doing it 127 times in 3 months as well?
If the movie is good, then maybe I'll give it a shot.
Maybe start saving up probably for all that's going to cost. But as we're going to take a look now at our pets of the day, because it's time for that time of the show. We take a look at your pets. This is Belle. She's going to start things off for us here.
Very adorable cat.
Very big looking cat. Very cute though, like you said. This is Kevin.
Just having fun playing. I love the name.
I know, great human name for pets there. Next up we have Selma and Patty.
Aw, they're adorable little kittens.
One's not too happy though.
No.
Take them there. Next up, this is Ozzy and Huxley.
Aw, little Frenchies. I love them.
They're a nice little pair there. And this is Jax to wrap things up.
Adorable.
Very beautiful looking husky. Yep. Well, if your pet was shown on today, you're automatically entered to win a Lloydminster Pet Pad gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Here with Becca from the SPCA, and today she has brought in Umberto, a beautiful cat. Tell me a little bit about like how he came to the SPCA.
Yeah, so he just came as a stray. I think he was brought in a cat trap, and then no one came to reclaim him, kind of thing too. But we think he was kind of on his own for a while. He's got a couple scratches on his head and on his ears, kind of thing, couple chunks missing here and there, but otherwise very affectionate, very much loving all the attention that he's getting now. So yeah, and so he's a little bit older, and so really we just think that he deserves to be in a nice home now and cuddle with everybody and his family, a new family, and go from there for him.
And I know him being here, he warmed up to a lot of people at the station. So is that how he normally is with anybody that comes in contact with him?
Yeah, basically. Like he's in a condo. He is by himself right now, but we really don't think that he would mind having a bit of a roommate in there with him, as long as they want to snuggle with him and things like that. But yeah, he's very much one that will meow right away to let you know that he's there and wanting some attention. And he has a bit of a loud meow, so I mean, you have to kind of be prepared for that if you want to take this handsome guy home. But like I said, if you're petting him, he's not meowing anymore, so you just have to give him some extra attention.
And any medical issues that you'd be concerned with?
No, not so far. Like I think he's on a bit of a weight control food. He's just not too round, but he's a little bit round. So we're just trying to get ahead of him gaining any potential weight at the shelter. But yeah, so other than that, he's he's good and health check and ready to go.
Oh, perfect. And other animals at the SPCA, how are you doing cat and dog wise?
We're doing pretty good. Dogs, we only have 3 in our care now, so it's definitely nicer than the 13 we had not too long ago. And then our cat numbers, we're doing pretty good as well too. We are cruising through our waiting list, so we're calling everybody like crazy, and they're either they have decided to, they found the owners or kind of thing, all that good stuff too, kind of thing. So we're really doing good on that.
Good.
So we're almost dwindled completely on the wait list. So, and I mean, which is kind of odd for this time of year. So like we even have maybe 8 sets of fosters out right now of kittens, and last year we were well into the 20s by this point.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
So we're definitely doing a lot better, that's for sure.
So since this year is a little bit different than previous years with the weather, so you're not getting as many strays or surrenders as you normally
that could have been definitely a factor too. In February and January, how it was freezing cold, so we're not complaining too much. I mean, it's always good to see our kitten numbers go down, because I mean, obviously there is a bit of an issue with too many cats, obviously, kind of thing, right? So we're not complaining at all.
And so your AGM meeting is tonight, discussing
our 2018 yearly events, things like that, budget, all that good stuff. So again, I mean, if it's some last minute plans you want to come, definitely let us know.
That'd be perfect. And Optimist Kids Day is coming up, and the SPCA will be there doing glitter tattoos, you were saying. Will there be any pets that you will be bringing?
We won't bring any pets to that. I mean, normally when we're doing glitter tattoos, we have volunteers as well watching the bouncy houses that are going to be going on there as well too. So we don't typically bring animals to those events, just because it's kind of a lot to look after kind of thing. So we're just really there for the kids this time around, and to help out with Optimist Kids Day, and go from there. So I mean, that runs from this Saturday from 10 until 3. So if that's something that you want to come and bring your kids to, definitely bring them down.
All right, well, perfect. Thank you so much for bringing in Umberto. And if you'd like to put in your thoughts or your ideas to the SPCA, their AGM meeting is happening tonight. What time is it?
It's from 7 until 9.
7 until 9, and you can come. Just let them know that you are interested in attending, and have your opinions and your ideas heard. So thank you, and we'll see you again next week.
Yes, definitely.
Pet Project is brought to you by Quick Pick Waste Disposal, Lloydminster's #1 waste and recycling hauler. Quick Pick is waste collection you can depend on.
Hey, I'm Justin with Boom 101.9 and 93.7 Wayne FM, and here's what's happening. This week, Fast and Curious moves over to another location. Now, we're getting to the nitty-gritty of it. We're giving the car away June 8th, so you only have 2 more weeks to enter to qualify. Monday morning at 7:40 a.m., we call a qualifier's name. This week, if you want to enter, head over to First Choice Auto Detailing in Lloydminster. That's where the vehicle is. That's where you can take a picture with it, fall in love, and who knows, hopefully we call your name. Now, there's a catch. If we do call your name, you only have 370 seconds to call us back. So if you have entered, or if you plan on entering, make sure you and everyone you know is listening Monday morning, because you do not want to miss that cue to call. Full schedule details on all that can be found over at 1019boom.com and at waynefm.com. Moving over to another event that's happening in Wainwright, Alberta Health Services presents HeartWise for those that want to learn more about managing blood pressure and cholesterol. Now, they have 2 sessions. The first one will be going down June 10th, and the second will be June 24th at the Wainwright Primary Care Network. And then even more stuff is going down. Now, you're going to want to register for this one right away, because it is going to fill up quick. That is why I'm giving you so much notice. The 33rd annual Irma Summer Spiel is happening July 30th to August 5th. There's going to be curling, a slow pitch tournament, and a whole bunch of other fantastic events filled with great people. Like I said, that one's going to fill up quick, so you want to get on top of that right now. If you want to check out registration forms, you can go over to irmasummerspiel.com for all that stuff. I'm Justin with 1019 Boom and 93.7 Wayne FM, and that's what's happening.
Inside the CPCA, brought to you by the Canadian Professional Chuck Wagon Association.
And welcome to Inside the CPCA. I'm your host tonight, Greg Buchanan. Joining us right now, Can-Do Saskatchewan's Todd Baptiste, as the CPCA Pro Tour kicks off this weekend in North Battleford. Todd, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Greg.
As you get ready for the season, maybe talk about getting ready during the off season and the winter time, and what kind of training goes into getting ready for what is a busy 3 months of racing for the CPCA.
Well, it doesn't seem to quit, Greg. I mean, in the off season, they're always looking to be able to improve your teams as much as possible, or, you know, most importantly, make sure everything is stays healthy, and you know, if there are some injuries, you know, we work on those and making sure they're going to be ready for spring. So it's always continuous. Like, we race, you know, 3 or so months a year, but for us it seems it's a 12-month job just to be ready.
Yeah, you said it's a 12-month job. You finish up on that Sunday afternoon in Lloydminster back in August, and you get ready for, you know, a Friday night in North Battleford this Friday. During that off season, when you talked about getting new horses, do you have a specific way you want to get those horses to go to racetracks, or you talk among other drivers?
Well, I guess everybody has their picks and, you know, their do's and their don'ts. You know, you want to be able to get some that's that's able to run in the front end. That's what I like to get anyway. I mean, early speed's key, you know, especially out of the barrel positions and gaining the front rail. So most of the guys will go to racetracks, pick up horses there, or a combination of buying off fellow other drivers. Not every horse works for everybody, but they might work better for your neighbors. So there is a combination of, you know, both picking from the racetrack, or, you know, maybe buying from a buddy.
As you kick off the season this weekend in North Battleford, there is no preseason in chuckwagon racing except for back home on your own track to get ready for the year. With that said, the opening weekend, how important is this weekend to kind of set the table for the rest of the season?
Well, I always think, you know, your spring is the most important time of the year, because, you know, you can set your position early, and you know, I'd like to always try to strive for the top 10 by a Calgary break, and that gives more comfortness as a driver. Not only that, but you know, your barn is able to be a little bit more, they'll rest a lot better, not having to run them so many days moving to the finals. So, you know, the spring always, you know, bites a driver in the butt come, you know, at the final time of the race season. So, you know, if you can get early speed and get some early points, it's going to just work out better for you at the end of the year.
Quickly, prediction for this weekend, where are you going to hope to finish?
Well, I'd like to be in the top end, obviously, first. You know, that's everyone's goal. You know, we finished third in the standings last year. We'll be hooked with the top 3 in the final heat in North Battleford. So, you know, as long as you're hooked with some top competitors, you know, you run good. You know, and in saying that, I'd like to, you know, keep my position there.
Thanks a lot for this talk. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Greg.
And that is Todd Baptiste, top 3 last year, hoping more of that this year as the CPCA kicks off their season Friday night in North Battleford. And that is Inside the CPCA for this week. Make sure you join us again in 7 days' time.
And now we're going to Josh Ryan, who is live on location tonight.
Thank you very much. Still outside the Continuing Care Center, I'm now joined by two grade 3 students from Queen Elizabeth School. We've got Madison Drobot and Ava Huffnagel. Ladies, thank you very much for joining me. Have you had a good time gardening so far?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, a little more hesitant on that yes from you. Do you guys garden regularly? What kind of gardening experience do you have before today?
We garden in our own garden by our house.
Okay, what kind of stuff do you grow?
Carrots and potatoes, peas, strawberries, and that's it. I can remember.
Well, that's a fair amount of things for one little garden. Hey, how about you, Ava? What do you garden?
We garden things like potatoes and cucumbers.
Do you guys live on farms? Do you live outside the city?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense why you would have such a big garden then. What has it been like to garden here at the center? What was it like to meet some of the folks in the care center?
It was really fun, and
Well, fun's a good word, certainly. Hey, Ava, would you say it's fun? Anything else you'd like to add?
it was very interesting to meet different people, new people,
What were some of the things the folks said to you guys?
like how to plant them, how far apart, and to cover them up and put the liquid things underneath.
Is that the first time you've planted some of those particular plants?
Some of them.
Okay. Now, what would be the next? What's the next thing you guys are going to go do here?
I don't know for sure.
Just some more planting, I guess. Then, are you excited to come back and plant next year, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Good to see you're so chatty today. We'll be back on Primetime Local News, but first, a look at your local weather.
Thanks very much, Josh. Taking a look at your current temperature right now. Still some sun right now at 27 degrees with some sun and cloud mix that we're seeing in our forecast right now. Take a look at the wind speed, though. It picked up a little bit from last hour, sitting over at 22 kilometers an hour there with those winds coming in from the west and southwest. Some record temperatures for this time of year. On this day, 32 degrees was our warmest day back in 1986, while -3 was our coolest back in 1989. As we take a look at the satellite radar map, it's not as heavy cloud-wise as we've seen over the past couple of days. It's very thin. It's more so out east behind me here, as they're going to see more of the cloud coverage. We're going to see some clear and a few cloudy days up ahead, as we'll showcase later on in the 7-day forecast. But as we take a look right now at some other temperatures right now, 28 degrees right now in Cold Lake and Whitecourt, 27 for Athabasca, Edmonton, Edson, and Jasper, 23 in Red Deer, 24 degrees out in Rocky Mountain House, 28 degrees also out in Meadow Lake, Prince Albert, and Saskatoon, 26 degrees right now in Melfort, and 26 also for North Battleford. Speaking of North Battleford, let's take a look at a little more in-depth look to what they're going to be seeing over the next 24 hours. 11 degrees overnight with some clear skies. They're going to see their first 30-degree mark on tomorrow with a daytime high there with clear skies and a few clouds there. 13 degrees overnight in Cold Lake with a few clouds, going to 30 as well tomorrow with a little bit cloudier and some sunshine there. Nonetheless, great temperatures out there. 11 degrees for us here in Lloydminster with clear skies, warming up to 29 degrees as we're just shy of the 30-degree mark with cloud and sun mixed for tomorrow. So here's a look at the next 3 days. 28 degrees on Thursday, where it should get a little bit clearer than tomorrow. 22 degrees on Friday with much clearer skies and maybe a few clouds popping up here and there. That low of 8 degrees and a low of 13 for tomorrow. Still at around the averages, a little over the averages rather, for this time of year. But that's a first look at your weather. We'll have more prime time local news coming up after the break.
Thanks very much. We're back at the Jubilee home where these kids have wrapped up their gardening duties for the day, and I'm joined by 4 of them. So on my left here, I have Emma Huffnagel and Tyrell Alfred, and on my right, I've got Bennett Amos and Kian Comrie, a couple of Oilers fans here on my right. So we're going to start back on my left, and Emma, just what we were talking about before we got on camera. What are you guys raising this money for? What is it going to go towards for your school?
For sports jerseys and stuff.
Okay, you a pretty big sports school at Queen Elizabeth?
Yes.
Okay. What's the favorite sport you play, for example?
Hockey.
Okay. Big hockey fan, are you?
Yes.
Okay. And Tyrell, how about you? Is this the first time you've been gardening here at the Jubilee home?
Yeah.
What's been the best part of the day gardening with the folks?
I like putting the plants in the little holes.
And then you get rewarded, of course, with a popsicle stick after. Now, moving on to Bennett, you guys have been, is it been not the first time you guys have been to the home or seen a few of the older folks? What was it like to meet them afterwards?
Awesome.
What kind of, did they say anything to you? Did you get any response from them after?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess they were probably in a quiet mood then after dinner. Kian, so you said you had been here before too. Is it fun to do this as a group, kind of go out and garden?
Yeah, I like it. I find it fun. And it feels good to do stuff for the community.
For sure. Now, what's the next thing you guys are going to do as a group? You want to do this again or sometime?
Yeah, we'd like to do it next year, I think.
Well, I hope I'm around to take part as well, because I need to get a little more practice with my own gardening. Thanks very much, guys. We'll be back with a little more from the Jubilee home. And welcome back one more time here at the Jubilee home. The kids are heading home, but I still have Don Whitaker, longtime volunteer, especially with Blooms for Healthcare, kind of guided the kids today. And how did the kids do today? Were you impressed with their work ethic?
Absolutely great. They were totally engaged. They put their whole hearts into it, and they kept ahead of us by quite a bit. Had lots of good parent support and whatnot, which is tremendous.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting them to take at least till 7:30, but they flew right through everything.
Yeah, no, had a good number, and we had some youth from First Baptist Church. They helped set us out plants, and then the Queen Elizabeth School kids, they came in and planted, did a marvelous job of planting.
Perfect. Now, was this their job as well, the few little bit of the garden they did, or was this mostly watering here?
No, this was all planted tonight. The prep was done beforehand, and so they had to dig the holes, put water in the holes, and place the plants in and repack them down. And so I'm just giving them a little bit more water right now to tide them through till morning.
And now, so among the plants that the kids planted, so some vegetables were planted, some crops as well. What else did they put in the ground?
Well, we've expanded at the Jubilee into a farmer's field, is what I call it. And the goal of that is, when we look at the demographics of the folks that are residents here, a lot of them grew up on the farms or in time when the family, and even in the cities and towns, had garden in their backyard. And so they're familiar with the gardening thing, and it's absolutely amazing that this is off the dining room on the other end. And the farmers that gather around the table every time we come in, well, the crops are sure looking good, or what's that crop out there? And they, of course, I've introduced a few new crops to them too. So, so we got some new ones, linola, which is new, and of course the sunflowers are always very, very expressive as far as height and colors go. And that's what stimulates them in their lives. It becomes a highlight in their lives for every resident.
And I'm sure it was a highlight of the week for all the kids that participated. So
I'm sure.
looking forward to seeing what becomes of these flowers that have been planted today. We'll get to follow their progress over the rest of the summer. Thank you, Don, for joining us. Great. We'll be back one more time, but first, a look at the question of the day.
All right, so our question of the day today, what movie can you watch over and over again without getting sick and tired of it? Lots of people weighing in on the question. Sound of Music was one of them, all Harry Potter movies. Yeah. One interesting one I found was Under the Tuscan Sun, that one with Diane Keaton. I mean, everybody has their own taste, their own favorite movie as well.
Definitely.
That fun fact, of course, we mentioned earlier in the first hour that one woman who loved The Sound of Music watched it 124 times in 3 months.
Yeah, which I find impressive. That one, you did that many, you watched it that many times, and you kept count, which is, it's pretty impressive.
That is very impressive. I mean, for myself, like, I love Pitch Perfect. I love a lot of musicals as well. I mean, I did say I kind of bragged that I could memorize the whole SpongeBob movie off by heart.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if I can't do that anymore. My memory's not quite what it used to be, but it's still up there. Just some of the other comments. The Notebook was one. Cool Runnings, that John Candy movie about the Jamaican bobsled team. Really good one there. Another interesting one, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. That's an interesting one.
Okay, that is an interesting one. But again, we go back to, you were saying, you know, everyone has their taste and genre of movies. So, you know, it's nice to see a wide variety of different comments.
Absolutely. Well, it's that time of the show right now where we get to take a look at your pets, because it's a chance to win a Lloydminster Pet Pad gift card. This is Belle, who's going to kick things off here.
Adorable cat.
Very nice looking cat there. This is Kevin.
Having fun playing.
I love the name.
Yeah.
I love when animals have people names.
Oh, yeah.
Next we have Selma and Patty, like the Simpsons characters.
I love that. They're an adorable duo.
So adorable. And next we have Ozzy and Huxley, another duo.
I love Frenchies, so those two are very cute.
And last but not least, this is Jax, a very gorgeous looking husky dog.
Adorable.
If your pet was shown on today, you're automatically entered to win a Lloydminster Pet Pad gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
There's plenty of sunlight for these freshly planted flowers to grow here at the Jubilee home. Plenty of flowers, vegetables, and crops were planted here by the Queen Elizabeth students visiting and helping as part of the Lloyd Co-op Growing the Good program. I'm joined now by volunteer Ed Anderson with an E, and maybe not a horticulture expert, but certainly one who knows his way around crops. You were kind of involved with that side of things. What were some of the crops the kids were planting, and kind of you were sort of helping them along there? So what was kind of the process like?
Well, I think planted in the farmer's garden out there is wheat, barley, oats, linola, peas, and I think a few faba beans were planted out there today in the farmer's garden.
So basically everything you need to survive, it sounds like.
Sure, absolutely.
How you've been involved, I guess, for a couple of years. How important is it to you, but also kind of when you see the interaction between the kids and the folks that live here as well, kind of what it means to them to have the gardens?
Well, I think, you know, when you look at life, you need something that's cheery, you need something that's bright. It changes your whole philosophy. And when you do the research and you look at the Eden philosophy out there in healthcare, you know, this is what it's about, is kids and younger people being involved with seniors. Some places have where kids adopt a senior and have to visit once a week or twice or once every 2 weeks, just to break that monotony of people living in seniors housing.
It certainly does. Thank you again, Ed, for joining us. That's been fun here at the Jubilee home. Freshly planted flowers, now a freshly planted segment to finish the show off with Connor and Abby.
All right, thanks very much, Josh. Take a look at the 7-day forecast one last time here. 29 degrees tomorrow for us here. 28 degrees on Thursday, where it should get a little clearer with less clouds. 22 on Friday, we could see a bit more clouds. 28 Saturday with a 41% chance of some rain there. 25 degrees on Sunday, where it should get a little more cloudier there. 19 degrees on Monday with the daytime high there, and 20 degrees on Tuesday to wrap up the 7 days. We're seeing very gorgeous temperatures over the course of the next couple of days. We're just shy of the 30-degree mark.
Yeah.
We haven't hit the 30 bomb yet, though.
It's coming soon, hopefully.
You know, it may be sooner than you think.
Yes, exactly. Very
excited. The next
excited.
couple of days here. But
Yeah.
that's going to do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great night.